Jamie, thank you. Between the Omicron surge and chilly temperatures, Utahns experiencing homelessness are trying to endure the winter.
Yeah, even with the new emergency shelter that's open and still getting staffed up, city officials tell us there won't be enough beds, and that leaves a lot more people out on the streets and living in camps. Chief Investigative Reporter Wendy Holleran has been looking into how Salt Lake City and the County Health Department are responding to the camps.
Well, Mark and Heidi, the city and county had a coordinated effort last year to keep homeless camps small, to increase public safety and minimize any public health hazards.
Salt Lake is the place where a lot of camps are happening. Part of it is a realization that there's not another option for some people.
Andrew Johnston is Salt Lake City's Director of Homelessness Policy and Outreach.
It's not very humane just to push everybody out of the city limits, but that's happening in a lot of cities right now.
Homelessness, Andrew says, isn't just a city issue, but a county one. The Salt Lake County Health Department receives reports about homeless camps, specifically trash, bio-waste, and other public health concerns. Then they will work with law enforcement to coordinate an abatement, breaking down a camp and cleaning it up.
It's a tough thing. I'm not sure anybody likes abatements. It's been the lesser of many, many evils in trying to get to a place where we have enough indoor space.
2 News Investigates learned that the number of abatements went up in 2021. There were 584 compared to 481 in 2020. Public health officials told us that's still dramatically lower than pre-COVID numbers when there were closer to 800 abatements.
Very large encampment sometimes brings a lot of other things to it. It's not just a few people camping.
In 2021, the city and county focused on doing more abatements in an effort to prevent camps from increasing their size and population and keeping them away from vulnerable populations, resource centers, daycares, and schools.
But most of the homeless folks we're working with in the system are in the resource centers. They're in housing, even temporarily.
Johnston estimates that resource centers in Salt Lake County saw 6,000 people, and there's only 1,000 beds. That still leaves a large amount of people camping in the city where it's illegal to camp.
Police have a lot of discretion in how they enforce that camping ordinance. They do need to enforce it, but oftentimes they'll call a resource center or another option, say, is there a bed available?
If there's not a bed available or bad weather, Johnston says police may not enforce the camping ordinance.
If there's not, then it's a difficult dilemma, obviously. How do you cite somebody for not having a place to be? And unfortunately, the city's taken on that role because other cities have just pushed people out. And I don't think that's right. And I think we need to address that on a regional level.
Now, this time last year, we reported that Salt Lake County Health Department spent almost $250,000 to coordinate and execute abatements. We've put in a public records request to learn the locations, hours, and costs of last year's abatements. The Salt Lake County Health Department expects to have those numbers available to us by March.